Your adventure begins in a modest, hidden nest nestled within the muddy swamps of northern Australia. As you cautiously emerge into the open, the first thing that greets your eyes is not just 1, 2, or 5 siblings, but nearly 40 of them. What an enormous family. Suddenly, a shadow looms over you. Wait, it's your mother. Maybe she's here to give you a warm welcome to the world. Turns out she's not planning to eat you. This is simply her unique way of transporting all of you to the water. Without hesitation, you take a daring leap into the shallow water and begin swimming for the first time in your life, while your mother hurries back to collect the rest of the brood. What a dedicated, hands-on parent. But, oh boy, some of your siblings don't even get the chance to try doggy paddling before they are snapped up by hungry predators. Clearly, this neighborhood isn't the most inviting. Dangers lurk everywhere. Acting fast, you dive underwater, following a few of your surviving siblings. Your long, slender body allows you to almost disappear into the murky depths. That's when you realize you have an advantage over the other swamp predators: your color. Your grayish-green hue blends seamlessly with the reeds, making you practically invisible. And if that wasn't enough, you also have an incredible skill. You can hold your breath underwater for up to 2 hours. Your mother returns with another group of siblings, only to find that this swamp's unofficial buffet has already devoured half of her first batch. Only you and 7 others have made it this far. Now let's see how the newcomers fare. Your mother does her best to fend off intruders, but when there are dozens of tiny, wriggling snacks in a predator-filled swamp, keeping them all safe is no easy task. A few intense moments pass as your mother secures the area, but not before losing a staggering 80% of her babies. And guess what? You're among the lucky ones who have survived so far, at least. With caution, you slink away to hunt for some small fish to satisfy your tiny appetite. Or perhaps that bug over there would make for a tasty snack. Crunchy. Your early days are spent swimming in your mother's swamp, preying on anything that can fit in your mouth. Bugs, tiny fish, and the occasional tadpole. Your mother watches over you, but she's not a full-time babysitter. If a bird swoops down in search of a quick meal, it's entirely up to you to dodge or become dinner. Some of your original siblings have already met their end this way. Others weren't as lucky when lizards, who occasionally visit the swamp, took advantage of your mother's absence while she was out hunting. What a useless mother. 6 months later, you've reached your juvenile stage. You're bigger, braver, and ready to claim your own little patch of the riverbank. It's not much, but it's yours. Your 5 remaining siblings are doing the same, each fiercely guarding their tiny territories. But every now and then, one of them dares to sneak into your area in search of prey. That's when the real fun begins. Well, fun for your other siblings, who sit back and enjoy the spectacle. The fights rarely end in death, but the injuries can leave you sore for days. Speaking of growth, your diet has also upgraded. You've moved past the kiddie snacks and onto more satisfying meals. Crabs, fish, and frogs. If it moves and fits inside your jaws, it's dinner. Oh, and have I mentioned your ultimate superpower? No? Well, it's your skin. Covered in countless tiny, ultra-sensitive receptors, you can detect water vibrations from as far as 65 feet away. In other words, you've got a built-in surveillance system that alerts you to nearby dangers or unsuspecting prey. Ah, and look at that. A fish. You silently stalk it, your movements concealed by the murky water. Then, with a swift and powerful snap, the fish is yours. 3 months later, the dry season sneaks up on you like an unexpected pop quiz. The once vast swamp has now shriveled into a maze of cramped, overcrowded pools. The water evaporates, leaving behind cracked mud, stranded fish, and an increasingly irritable crocodile population. And let's be honest, nobody likes a grumpy croc, especially when everyone's hungry. Food has become a rare treasure, and your diet takes a nosedive in quality. You're forced to survive on whatever scraps you can find. Oh look, there's a little fish. That should do the trick. What do you think? Just let me finish my sentence. Oh, never mind. Enjoy your meal. Wait, before you can even take a bite, your brother swoops in and steals it straight from your jaws. You shoot him a glare, too exhausted to fight back, and sink into the muddy water, grumbling to yourself. Starvation has never felt so petty. And as if things couldn't get any worse, the adult crocodiles start moving in. As larger crocodiles move in, they take control of the remaining water holes, seizing whatever prey they desire. Luckily, you're too insignificant for them to notice unless hunger strikes. Suddenly, a massive adult crocodile glides into your pool. Your instincts kick in, and you silently slip away to the shallowest, most concealed corner, holding your breath and hoping it doesn't decide you're worth the effort. Thankfully, it ignores you. Still, the close call leaves you shaken. Perhaps it was just searching for a bigger meal and found nothing here. Either way, you can finally breathe again. 2 years pass in a blur, and now you stand at an impressive 6.5 feet long, fully embracing your role as a juvenile saltwater crocodile. But with this growth comes a drawback. Hiding under branches is no longer an option. You're far more visible now, turning you into an appealing target for every predator in the area. It's time to move on, to find a new place with fewer threats. even if that means fewer food opportunities. It might not be the most luxurious trade-off, but at this stage, you can't afford to be picky. You'll take whatever territory you can find, as long as it doesn't come with a set of jaws snapping at your neck. Your goal now is a spot that's less desirable, less comfortable, and has fewer prey. Why? Because this ensures larger crocodiles won't be interested in the area, giving you a much safer environment. Now, let's assess your current location. Your journey could take you down this route, or perhaps that one, or maybe even across the open sea. Oh, did I forget to mention? You're the only crocodile species capable of surviving in the open ocean. Your swimming skills are top-notch, allowing you to travel hundreds of kilometers across the sea. This means you can explore distant islands, potentially perfect places for you. After weeks of wandering, scouting various coastal areas and islands, you finally find it. A quiet stretch of river with salty waters and only a handful of fish. Not exactly paradise, but oddly, it's exactly what you need. The salinity here is intense. But does that bother you? Not in the slightest. That's because you have a unique advantage. Specialized glands that filter out excess salt, allowing you to thrive in any level of salinity. This makes you one of the few reptiles capable of surviving in estuaries, saltwater rivers, and even the open ocean. Life gradually falls into a rhythm. You hunt by stealth, relying on your sensory organs to detect even the faintest ripples in the water. Oh look, a rodent is foolishly wandering into your territory without permission. Time to teach it some manners. With a swift dash and a powerful snap of your jaws, success. 12 years pass and you've reached full maturity. Now, at 13 feet long and weighing about 1,000 pounds, your current hunting grounds are no longer enough to satisfy your massive appetite. You need more prey, but the prime territories nearby are already claimed by seasoned, battle-scarred crocodiles. There's only one option. Take one for yourself. Sizing up a rival croc, you prepare for a showdown. The standoff is tense. Tails swishing, jaws gaping, both of you displaying dominance like two drivers arguing over a parking space. Then the fight erupts. You thrash, bite, and claw, each attack sending shockwaves through the water. And with one final, powerful bite, you win. The river is now yours. It's everything you could want. Clean water, plenty of hiding spots, and an abundance of prey to keep you well-fed for weeks. Life has never been better. You patrol your new domain with confidence, sampling a variety of meals. A wild boar here, a gazelle there, and oh, was that a shark? Yes, during one of your occasional ocean swims, you managed to take one down. Impressive. When you're full, you carefully stash your leftovers, ensuring no scavengers can steal your hard-earned meal. Perfect. But wait, a scent drifts through the water. It's not food, it's a female crocodile. She's strong, graceful, and clearly not here just to admire the scenery. You already know what this means. Approaching cautiously, you both circle each other, ensuring neither feels threatened. There's no romance here, just a strategic exchange. And just like that, the cycle continues. But wait, another female has arrived. One of the major benefits of securing a territory rich in prey is the influx of females. And with that comes plenty of excitement. However, it also attracts unwanted guests. Other males looking to stake their claim. No worries, though. You're more than strong enough to handle any intruders. But what if you weren't a male? Let's say you're a female instead. 6 weeks after mating, your instincts tell you it's time to secure your legacy. That means constructing a nest, a well-hidden, sturdy fortress to safeguard your soon-to-be hatchlings. You scout for the perfect spot. A sunny, elevated patch near the water, just high enough to protect your eggs from being swept away by future floods. With your powerful back legs, you begin digging into the soil, carving out a suitable chamber for your eggs. It's exhausting work, but nothing compared to what lies ahead. Once the nest is ready, you carefully lay up to 50 eggs, each a tiny capsule carrying your genetic blueprint. You then cover them with soil, packing it down firmly to create a warm, insulated incubator. Satisfied, you settle nearby, prepared to guard your precious clutch. You might think this is the easy part, just waiting patiently for them to hatch, right? Wrong. The next 80 days are an endurance test of vigilance and patience. Predators lurk everywhere, always on the lookout for an easy meal. Monitor lizards slither past, their forked tongues tasting the air for a whiff of your nest. Birds perch in nearby branches, watching, waiting for the right moment to strike. Even other crocodiles might be tempted by the sight of your unattended eggs. But you're not about to let that happen. Every time an intruder ventures too close, you respond with an earth-shaking hiss and a powerful snap of your jaws. Most would-be thieves take the hint and retreat. The few that don't, well, let's just say they won't be making the same mistake twice. After what feels like an eternity, the soil above the nest begins to shift. Faint chirping noises emerge from beneath. Your hatchlings are finally breaking free. A rare flicker of satisfaction fills you. Not warmth, of course, since you're still a cold-blooded reptile, but the pride of knowing your dedication has paid off. Carefully, you begin to uncover the packed soil, helping your young escape their underground chamber. Tiny, squirming replicas of yourself wiggle free, chirping as they take their first breaths of air. They stare up at you, wide-eyed and utterly unprepared for the harsh world awaiting them. Gently, you gather as many as possible in your jaws. The same fearsome teeth designed for crushing bone now serve as a cradle, carrying your newborns with the delicate precision of a devoted mother. One by one, you ferry them to the shallows, giving them their first taste of the swamp. But there's no time for celebration. The neighbors have noticed. Birds, lizards, and even fish begin circling like uninvited party crashers. Some of your hatchlings don't stand a chance. A bird swoops down, snatching one before you can react. A monitor lizard seizes another while your back is turned. You hiss and snap, driving off as many intruders as you can. But the odds are against you. The survivors scatter, some diving beneath the water, others scrambling for cover among the branches. A few cling to your back, instinctively seeking safety with you as their protector. You patrol the area relentlessly, fending off threats while teaching your brood the basics of survival. They learn to hunt, guided by your expertise. You lead them toward insects, small fish, and other bite-sized prey, demonstrating how to strike with accuracy. Some are naturals, quickly mastering the art of the hunt. Others, well, let's just say they have a lot to learn. The first few weeks are the most perilous. Every day, you lose more hatchlings to the swamp's merciless predators. This fierce protectiveness is exactly why you, as a species, are responsible for more human attacks than any other Australian wildlife. Humans, unfortunately, don't always respect your personal space. You're not actively seeking trouble, but you live by an age-old crocodile law. Trespass in my waters, and you become my next meal. Yet, some people never get the message. They wade into your territory, treating it like their personal swimming pool or worse, posing for selfies in the worst possible spots. Their final thought is usually something along the lines of, "Oh, this seems like a great place for a photo." By the end of the month, only a handful of your hatchlings remain. But these survivors are tougher, faster, and more confident in their environment. They explore the swamp with growing independence, though you continue to keep a close watch over them. You know your role is nearly complete. One evening, as the sun sets over the water, you take one last look at your young. You watch as your remaining hatchlings paddle into the murky water, ready to begin their own journeys. They've grown, they've learned, and now it's time for them to carve their own paths through the swamp. You don't call after them or try to follow. That's not the crocodile way. Instead, you silently slip beneath the surface, letting the current carry you back to your domain. Your legacy is out there now, making its own mark, while you prepare for whatever comes next. Maybe another nest to guard, another rival to drive off, or perhaps just a well-earned nap in the sun. By the time you reach 20 years old, you've become a true giant. At a staggering 20 feet in length and weighing over 2,200 pounds, you hold the title of the largest living reptile. Every inch of your body is built for dominance. Coiled muscles packed with raw power, a jaw capable of snapping shut with over 3,700 pounds of force, and scales so thick they function as natural armor. Rivals steer clear of your territory, and even the boldest juveniles know better than to test your patience. Occasionally, an overconfident intruder tries their luck, but one lash of your massive tail is enough to send them fleeing. Life in your territory is not just good, it's magnificent. Your meals reflect your position at the top of the food chain. You feast on water buffalo that wander too close to the riverbank, unsuspecting antelope stopping for a drink, and even feral pigs foolish enough to stray into your range. These large kills more than sustain you. A single feast can last for weeks, giving you plenty of time to bask in the sun, patrol your waters, and enjoy your rule over the river. Decades pass. You grow even larger, 23 feet long, tipping the scales at over 2,500 pounds. You are a true giant of the swamp. Then, one day, you spot a water buffalo stepping cautiously toward the riverbank. Perfect timing. Hunger is beginning to creep in, and you're ready to strike. You lunge forward, thrashing through the water. But, wait, something feels off. You're slower. The prey senses you before you can get close and bolts to safety. What happened? Ah, that's right. You're 70 years old now. This sluggishness? It's normal at your age. You're still an imposing force, but your body isn't what it used to be. Your once razor-sharp reflexes have dulled with time. Decades of crushing bone and tearing flesh have worn down your teeth. And yet, you are one of the few crocodiles capable of reaching such an old age. If luck is on your side, you might even make it to 100. Hunting is no longer as effortless as it once was, so you adjust. Scavenging becomes your survival strategy. You patrol the outskirts of your territory, searching for leftovers abandoned by younger, less experienced crocodiles or easy opportunities for a meal. It's not the most dignified way to survive, but at this stage, survival is all that matters. Fortunately, food scarcity isn't a huge concern. Your fat-storing abilities allow you to go up to 3 months without eating if necessary. Even in old age, you remain the ultimate survivalist. But then trouble arrives. A massive male enters your territory. His scales are flawless, his movements quick and powerful. He is everything you once were, and he's here to take what's yours. The tension rises as you both circle each other in the water. You open your jaws wide in a display of dominance, but he doesn't back down. The fight begins. And just like that, it ends. Good night.